And the other big news today, Amari Stoudemire from the Phoenix Suns, the great power forward there, has decided it is most likely going to be that he will opt out of his contract and become a free agent this offseason. Remember, 2010 free agency, I will be your source for that starting July 1st because, Jake P., I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, I am all over this thing right now. I'll admit it. I think I like LeBron James again just because I'm just crazy about this. I mean, I can't stop reading stories on it. I mean, I know there's a lot of people think it's ridiculous that ESPN keeps publishing stories on the 2010 free agents and all that, but it's addicting to me, and I'm going to be following it like crazy. So come to me. I will be your source next month on this show. But anyway, I'm not surprising that Amari Stoudemire is opting out because he is part of the group that will be meeting with Joe Johnson, Dwayne Wade, and LeBron James, and Chris Bosh to discuss their futures. And honestly, I think Amari Stoudemire, I could see him teaming up with Dwayne Wade in Miami next year. That seems to me to be the best option for him because I think he likes being in like a warmer climate, kind of like how Phoenix was. Not exactly sure why he didn't really like playing in Phoenix. There never really was a reason why, but anyway, I personally think he'll end up in Miami, and I'm not surprised that he is opting out, and I think that he's pretty much ruled out Phoenix. There still is a chance, of course, but I think Phoenix is ready to move on. They'll have enough money to pull somebody else in to play with Steve Nash. That'll be solid. Who knows? Maybe they could even pull in Chris Bosh. But watch out for Miami, watch out for the Clippers, and watch out for Houston, all competing for Amari Stoudemire, because they could use another guy. They could use a guy like him on their team. Anybody really could, but I think those three will be the main ones, and maybe even the New Jersey Nets will step in there. But I think ultimately he ends up with the Heat, and this is not surprising news that he's doing this. I think it was anticipated, so there's not much more to say about it other than, well, what else is new? Anyway, the New Jersey Nets, we just mentioned them. They, as of today, just an hour or two ago, they hired Avery Johnson to be their new head coach. Avery was head coach of the year, NBA head coach of the year in 2005, and he coached the Dallas Mavericks for 4 or 5 seasons and had some good success there. He had an above 70% winning percentage. Obviously, a lot of it was the players, and, you know, Dirk Nowitzki, Michael Finley was there part of the time, Josh Howard, but Avery Johnson is a good coach overall. I think personally that he is overrated, and I'm not the biggest fan of him and his coaching methods, but he is a good coach. I will admit, I think he's a great fit in New Jersey, great hire there, because they need somebody like him that'll get this team going ground running next season, go from 12 wins to making the playoffs maybe, or even, who knows, if they sign a big-name free agent, being a title contender. And the nice thing about Avery Johnson is he's a nice balance because he's had coaching experience, he's a good coach, period, because of that, and he's honestly not that expensive because he's kind of like in the middle. He's not quite the Tom Thibodeau, however you pronounce his last name, that was hired by the Bulls, the Boston Celtics assistant, and I think the Bulls made a really stupid hire with that. But he's not quite Phil Jackson either. Obviously, he's like kind of in between. He's got some experience and he's gotten good experience, proven to be successful. So he will be a fairly cheap option for the Nets as their head coach, as they're getting new ownership as well, and it'll be interesting to see what the Nets do this offseason. I think they'll land somebody. I don't know, I doubt it'll be LeBron, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, or anybody like that, but I could see them maybe pulling in, maybe trying to get Dirk Nowitzki. Call me crazy, but I think Dirk might want out of Dallas. He might want to go somewhere different, and as far as I understand, he liked playing for Avery Johnson, and his former teammate from the Mavericks, Devin Harris, is still with the Nets, so who knows, maybe he'll end up there if he does leave Dallas, which seems to kind of be a stretch, but I think the chances are higher than most people think. I think he's 50-50, he'll go. But, yeah, great move for the Mavericks, and the Nets, and it'll convince somebody big to sign with them this offseason. Okay, so the FIFA World Cup, as I said at the beginning of the show today, we're going to talk about Groups E and F. I'm going to go ahead and let Jake P take it over from here because we're splitting up the duties between the two of us. So Jake P, what can you tell us, Group C and F, who's going to win there, who's in each group, and who's going to win?
Alright everyone, so for your FIFA World Cup coverage of today, I got for you Groups E and F. Over in Group E, we have the Netherlands, who are ranked 4th in the world currently, Denmark, who are ranked 36th, Japan, who is ranked 45th, and Cameroon, who is ranked 19th. And then over in Group F, we have Italy, ranked 5th in the world, Paraguay, ranked 31st, New Zealand, ranked 78th, and Slovakia, ranked 34th. I think the winner of Group E, well, the first winner, and then will be the Netherlands, and then the second team out of there will be Cameroon, and then out of Group F, I say Italy wins that group, and Paraguay is the second team to come out of there. So yeah, there's your mini World Cup coverage for today. Jake, like we said, Jake M will be covering the final two groups tomorrow, and then we'll be starting our full-on coverage Friday when the World Cup actually starts, and there's some games later that Friday night, throughout the day, really, and then Saturday and Sunday while we're away, and then Monday while we're starting the show again. So yeah, we'll have plenty of coverage starting Friday and Monday. So yeah, back to Jake.
Alright, great. Thanks, Jake P. And again, like I said before, I will be covering FIFA World Cup Groups G and H tomorrow with my predictions. And that'll wrap up our FIFA World Cup predictions for now, at least. We want to thank you for joining us here on the Jake and Jake Show. As always, episode 12. Hard to believe we're in double digits already, Jake P. I mean, we started back on May 24th, and it seems like everything was going slowly passing by, but now it's just whizzing by, and here we are already. We're done with our 12th episode, and we want to thank you for joining us again, and please be sure to send us your comments, questions, whatever, to jakeandjakeshow@gmail.com. That's jakeandjakeshow@gmail.com. Maybe part of the reason you haven't done it yet too much is because you didn't know how to spell it out. Well, there you go, no more excuses. So, also, feel free to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Jake and Jake Show, and then the Two Jakes Show is our YouTube name. Subscribe to us, please do. The more subscribers, the better. So we feel worthwhile doing this. We have a great time doing it, and we would love to see more of you adding comments and watching our show and following it regularly. So again, we want to thank you, and if you did happen to participate in the Boston Celtics guess what jersey of the Boston Celtics Jake M is wearing today. I sure hope that you picked number 34, Paul Pierce, because that is the answer. Let me angle this for the camera. Well, good enough there. So that was the one I'm wearing. That is the one I'm wearing today. So if you happen to guess it right, send us your name, your username, your real name, whatever you want to do, to jakeandjakeshow@gmail.com. Again, I feel like a Nazi showing it all the time, but there you go. And we will feature your name on the air. So thanks again for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care.
Just two friends named Jake and Jake. Oh, and they're here to give you their take on the NBA, the MLB, and the NFL. Anything except NBC.